Welcome, everyone, to a beautiful, beautiful day. Whew. The task at hand. Let me take my glasses off. The task at hand might seem a little daunting, but the task at hand is pay attention to your intention. You don't have to say a word, you don't have to open your mouth to speak nothing, but your intention is projected outward. Law of gender, yes? Your intention, your will is projected outward. Make sure that it is your will, which means you and I, we get to know ourselves, get to know you. Oh, but Angela, I don't know how to get to know me. You get to know yourself the way you get to know somebody else. Spend time. You hear that word, spend time. Time is a currency then. Well, you're spending it, right? When you spend time with someone, they are, well, you at least deem them to be valuable enough. It's an investment, right? There's not necessarily a monetary return on the thing, but there is a return on it. So to get to know yourself means you spend time with yourself, spend time by yourself. That's important because in that time, you get to hear the sound, you get to feel what you are like. Oh, you'll get to know yourself well, how you think, how you respond. Those things are important because if you don't know the sound and the feel of you, well, anybody can come along and whisper something to you and you go do it because you think it's you. Hmm? Think about that for a moment. How many times have we done something and they were like, oh, well, that's not me? Like, what? Mm, you may or may not have done it. Who knows? But the intention, see, the intention, that place that you do something from, you do a task from a particular place. That should be you. Once you get to know yourself, it may seem boring, it may seem mundane, it may seem that it has no purpose. But it does have a purpose. When you get to know yourself, you see, knowledge does something, and I've told you this before. Knowledge is this light, yeah? It lights up everything. You know, listen to the sentence we always say, oh, I was in the dark about that. I was kept in the dark. To be kept in the dark means you don't have knowledge of something. That's what it, that's what it means. You are unaware of something. You don't have knowledge of it. So you are in the dark. Thereby you're ignorant of it. You don't know, noscient of it. You are unaware of it. So knowledge is this light that illuminates everything. It makes you go, aha, eureka. It'll make you do that. Think about the freedom that it gives you when you have knowledge. Think about that. It's the same sensation when you have knowledge of self. When you have knowledge of self, has that, oh, it leaves you feeling peaceful. I'll say that. It leaves you feeling good. Whew. Well, that's nice. That's what it leaves you feeling like. You've got to understand there is more to you. I will keep telling it to you every single day, whether in the same fashion or by way of another set of words. Cute, I might say it in a different language. Who knows? But there is more to you. How will you discover what is more about yourself? Well, that means you get to hang out with yourself. You get to test yourself. What am I capable of doing? What am I capable of learning? Find out. The only way to know is to do a thing. And you'll find that once you do it, something will happen to you. There'll be this flip of a switch. There'll be this flip of a switch. And you will find that fear will leave you. Fear will leave you. Why would it? Because fear is not part of the equation. Fear, is a projection from somewhere else. It's a projection from somewhere else. But it is not coming out of you because that's not what it does naturally. It's this external factor. We don't go by externals. Why not? Because the external happens because of us. So your task at hand is to get to know yourself. There are many facets to you. You can't be afraid of yourself. Why not? Because your true intention is to help, to comprehend, to expand, to become more. That's your true intention, your curiosity. Nowhere in there's fine, I'm just going to hurt myself today. I'm just going to do dumb things. No, that's not anybody's intention. It may be a projected intention from somewhere else. But the way to know what is you and what is not you is to spend time to know yourself. Spend time. I saw a different side of my father on Friday. Was it Friday? Yeah, it was Friday. I saw a different side of him. He's usually so, oh, don't do that, because especially with his grandson, oh, don't do that. And they go down by the river, and of course Noah's got his hands in the river because the water is quite nice. He says, Mom, come put your hands in. You must get a feel for this. Of course, I go and I put my hands in there, and I'm like, oh, this is nice. Grandpa's like, get your hands out of there. I turn around, and a couple moments later, what is my daddy doing? He's got his hands in the river. Come on, Grandpa, let's do it. And he's got his hands in the river. And he's skipping stones with Noah. And on our way home, he says, well, I've never done anything like that before. I've never done anything like that. I didn't even know that I could. You see, his words got me. I didn't even know that I could. I've never done anything like this before. He goes, normally I just, I go to work and then I go home and I shower and I eat and I sit in front of the TV, but I've never done this before. I said, well, what did you think? He goes, I like it. When are we going to do it again? And I said, whenever you want to. I said, before winter, though, because, it's swift approaching. But that's the thing. How did he get to experience that? A curious grandchild. That's how he did it. He saw a side of himself that he'd never seen before. He encountered a part of himself that he'd never seen before. Oh, sure, they frolicked as children. But he'd never done this. And so that's the point today. You get to know yourself. And you'll be amazed. You'd be amazed at what you're capable of and what you can enjoy. Right? Why do I suggest that? Like, he was still, so when I spoke to him on Sunday, he was still going on about it. He was like, oh, so that was so good. It's like we don't see this part of ourselves. Why? I would dare to speculate that it's because there's so much going on around us that catches our attention and causes us to focus somewhere else. Focus on the outward. Right? We say, but I would prefer some inner peace. I would prefer some, calm times. But cultivating that calm, cultivating that peace of mind. Why? Because you cannot go out into this world and say, give it to me. Give it to me, baby. No, we can't go out and do that. It doesn't work that way. From the inside out is how it comes into being. It comes into being by way of you knowing yourself. That's all. This world will bend and shape itself according to who you say that you are. Because that is law. You're molding and shaping the world because of who you say you are. And if you'll notice, back in the day when I was young and not a kid anymore, right? We didn't know the law. Consciously, pardon me. We didn't know it. But it is there. And we used to do things. Because, you look back and go, wow, well, it was so easy then. It is easy now. This is the whole purpose. Get to know yourself. Neville Goddard says there is none but the self. There's none but the self. And now here's the thing. I want you, desperately, I want for you to grasp, to comprehend that wherever you have come from, whatever you have experienced in your life, you've learned something about yourself from that place. Now we have a couple of options. Do you like what your experiences have shaped you to become? Because, youngsters, we're molding and shaping them because they don't know yet. So we're molding and shaping them. Then they behave according to how they were raised. We are all like that. But you see, what we tend to do is look at how we were raised and hold on to how we were raised and sit and say, I cannot do this thing. I've been this way my whole life. That's what we do to ourselves. We hold ourselves in an unnatural state. Everything changes. Cause and effect. Everything changes. Everything vibrates. It moves. And it's moving polarity from where it is to where it is going. And in that movement of from to, a rhythm is created, an ebb and a flow. Nothing remains the same. Yet, we hold ourselves in an unnatural state. We suspend change. How do you suspend change? By keep doing the same thing you've always done. That's how you suspend change. By doing what you've always done. Complaining about it, but doing what you've always done. But you see, now, here's where knowledge comes in. Knowledge comes in. Dun, da, da, da. Knowledge. She doesn't wear a cape. Oh no, she doesn't need to wear a cape. Whether you accept her or not, you will know that you were in her presence, because you would have learned something that you did not previously know, or you will comprehend it on a much deeper level. But you'll always know when she's touched you, when she's whispered something to you. You'll know. So take the time and accept your task. Because what is the alternative? To remain as you are. And we all know we don't want to remain the same. We know this. Every time we make the observation and say, ugh, there has to be more, we've decided we don't want to stay the same. So if you don't want to stay the same, do you think you have to bust things down and be violent about it? Not at all. That simple decision, that simple intention, that simple projection of your intention outward that says, I want to change. Now you've moved yourself to a different polarity. And here's the beautiful thing. Do your best to embrace the change. Why? Cause and effect. Cause and effect tells you every cause has its effect, every effect its cause. But it also tells you something else. It tells you if you know the cause, you can predict the effect. So if you say, I want to change to this, do you not know how it's going to turn out? Of course, you know exactly how it's going to turn out. You know exactly how it's going to turn out. It's going to turn out the way you intended for it to turn out. That's what it's going to do. So is there a reason to fear change? No. You see, what we fear as humans is the unknown. But if you know the law, then you can apply. And when you apply it, well, then you know the outcome of the law, do you not? The law is always satisfied. It has to be, because if it were broken, ooh, that would not end well. So it is always upheld. You and I are always in alignment with the law. Mentalism, the all is mind. Correspondence, as above, so below. Vibration, everything moves. Polarity, something on the left, something on the right. You're moving from, to, but they appear to be different. They only are different because of where they are, left and right. That is what makes them different. But the thing on the left and the thing on the right is exactly the same. That's how come you know where to move to. You want to move from hatred because you want to move towards love. They're the same. You go from hatred to a strong dislike. I can kind of sort of tolerate you. And I kind of like you. I like you a lot. Oh, I really like you a lot. Why, but I love you. You see, you move yourself from where you are to where you're going because they are exactly the same. Just the vibration. Yes. And from that movement, a rhythm is developed. You have a particular way of doing things. This is why, if you pay attention, you can always tell the original and the copycat. Why? Because if you spent time with the original, you'll see the things that glaringly stand out to tell you, they don't do this. Because you have a rhythm, a habit, a pattern. And that pattern causes you to act, bringing about an effect. The effect now will cause you to do something else, which will bring about an effect and cause you to act. See, cause and effect. But why? Because of what you projected outward. The law of gender, to project is masculine. And the outward, the outside, is the womb. And it has to give you back an experience. Dare I say it is raining? Oh, yes, it is. But you hear what I'm telling you this morning. If you spend time and you deliberately practice, I'm going to say this. Don't clutch your pearls, though. I do not care where you've come from and what you've been through. Not because I'm insensitive, but because I know that you want to change. But if you say, I cannot, I'm exhausted, okay, now we can deal with that, can we not? It's polarity. You're looking at where you are and acknowledging it and saying, I've been beat down so much. That's what we say. But here comes knowledge in all her glory. And she says, I know. But let me show you what you did not know. And from that knowledge, yeah, she will bestow upon you rest. Because then you'll begin to see what caused you to fight and struggle and exhausted you. You'll see it. And when you see it, and you say, oh, wow, really? And you say that, you'll rest. So that now when you get up, you can do it. The new thing you say you want to become. Pay attention to it. The next time you encounter knowledge, you'll find that she's accompanied by rest also. She's accompanied by peace. Oh, she is. It's that kind of party. Well, she brings a lot of friends. She does. So that when you are looking at the task at hand, you're not overwhelmed by the task. Because you comprehend the task. You see, also, when you spend time with yourself, you will learn compassion. Funny thing that, yes, you'll stop beating yourself up. You'll stop judging yourself. These things just happen naturally by way of you getting to know yourself. Now, let us take a moment to see who's here. Hello, Geck and Tiffany and Javion. Hey, I don't know. He might be asleep, Tiffany. I don't know. But it is good to see you both here in Twitter this morning. Ah, fan base who's here. Oh, hello, Coach darling. KZ, Flo Smiles, Oracle Treehouse, Miss McQueen. I see you. You're all that I can see. You're all I can see in the space at the moment. So if I didn't call your name on fan base, it's not because I don't care. It's because I can't see you. But that's what I'll say. Welcome in this space today. Facebook, we got Indy. Now who's here in YouTube chat? We have Marcia. We've got Queen Red Pill. Oh, I didn't even know that song, Queen Red Pill. Everything Must Change by Quincy Jones. Hey. Well, Justin, hello, darling. It's good to see you. Marjorie, hello. Sherelle, shea butter. Yeah, that's who I can see here in the chat this morning. Ah, Ruby. Yes. You see, this is why when you read things like scripture and they give things a personality, they tell you wisdom, she. They refer to her as she. Why? Because we're human and we're in these bodies and we feel and we have personalities and we think that everything has a personality. So we give everything a personality. And this is why sometimes the story can run away with us without actually having learned the story. Right? But you see, wisdom, she's beautiful, She truly, truly is. Truly, truly is. And she comes to all who seek. She does not discriminate so long as you intend. Your will is to know, to comprehend. As soon as you say, I wonder, she's right there. She will bestow herself upon you. Why? Because it sucks to be kept in the dark, doesn't it? Hmm. Some people say, well, I learned in the dark, of course. But wisdom is light. So because think about it, when you are moving from where you are to where you want to go, you want to see these things. So the light is necessary. It is part and parcel. Hmm? It's part and parcel. It's the whole shebang, the whole enchilada is that light. And so that's what she brings. So be encouraged today that you have nothing to fear. Spending time with yourself, learning yourself, comprehending yourself, you will find you begin to develop and your senses become enhanced. Well, how so? You begin to sense things. Yes, you do. But hey, don't take my word for it. Practice so that the next time you have a sticky situation that you may find yourself in, you know that you're like, who's good for sticky situations? Anything that dissolves the adhesive, acetone. So you're not caught up in it. It's not going to overwhelm you. No, because you have knowledge. You've learned about yourself. And there's always something. If you were here for the story with Daddy, oh, I don't want to tell you how old he is. He's 71. He discovered something new about himself at the sweet, tender age of 21. Doesn't look a day over 50, I'll tell you that. But he discovered something about himself. And he quite likes it. So now, then you are charged with be like children. It's that curiosity, the eagerness to know. That's quite what children are like. They just want to know. They want to comprehend. They are learning. But what are they learning about? Themselves, who they are, where they fit. That is something we should keep. That curiosity, that eagerness to comprehend, to learn. to see what we are. But we get so caught up in the things that are going on around us that we forget that the self is of great importance. The self. Yes. So that is the encouragement today. The task at hand is to spend time with yourself, get to know you. Why? Because then you'll comprehend what you're creating. Well, you'll know a man by his habits. You'll know a man by the fruit he bears, won't you? So what are fruit? The effects, the experiences that you live through. And listen, sometimes I've been talking to a beautiful young lady, and she says to me, Angela, I feel so good. She goes, I feel so good. She's like, do you know I've been practicing my boundaries? She said, I've had these circumstances that come up, and I saw how I used to behave. Well, I don't do that anymore. And she goes, it feels so peaceful. I'm not compromising myself anymore. Of course, I had to sit there and say to myself, I know, right? Isn't it awesome? Isn't it incredible? I just, I had to throw the invisible confetti, virtual confetti. I had to throw it. Because if had you known her a couple weeks ago, yeah, a complete 180, right? All because she got to know herself. She saw what she didn't like. And she's like, why do I always do this? And she said, well, I don't want to do that anymore. And she's been practicing the law day in and day out. Sometimes she'll call me and she'll say, oh, this is hard. And I say to her, ebb and flow. But what is it that you know? She goes, I know the law. I said, yeah, because it's not every day you're going to be, wee. You're not going to be like that every day. But the wee does not depend on what you experience, you know? The wee depends on what you know. And when you know the law and you practice it on a daily basis, you don't have to be wee 24/7. You don't need to be because you're at peace. You're at peace. So, before we go this morning, get to know you so that you can look at yourself and go, oh, I like this, I'll keep it. I don't like this, I'll change it. And there'll be no more of this, I cannot do this. No, but you will recognize where the fatigue is coming from. And you will allow wisdom and her friends to help you out. Yes, because I know some people have been fighting. It seems like they've been fighting their whole lives with quote unquote trying to change. No, accept, accept, accept who you are. Just accept it. You don't have to fight it. Nah, you don't have to do any of that. Accept it. And once you've accepted it, examine it. You want to keep it? No. What do you want to do instead? And you do it one simple thing at a time. Just one. And do that one thing. Just that one thing. Do it. And do it well. And you will notice your confidence. You'll notice your energy begin to go up. Why? Because you're not allowing yourself to be pulled and stretched in many different ways. You have gathered your strength to yourself to focus on a particular area. And when you gather your strength and you focus on that one area, my, how strong you become. You begin to build that muscle, do you not? Oh, yes, you do. And how do you build it? By using it, by practicing. And then when you look at that thing that you did and the change that you created from that place, you sit there and you say, oh, I did that? Oh, yes, I did. Well, I don't like this thing. Let me do the new thing then. And you are invigorated. You're fired up. And you do that little thing. And you do it well. Over and over and over again. In spite of sometimes that little thing saying, mm-hmm. Oh, you think you can change? You don't even fight that anymore. You laugh. And you say, whew. I know the law, and I know how this is going to turn out, because every cause has its effect, and every effect its cause, and I will remain polarized in the direction that I say I'm going, because I know how it's going to turn out. You don't scare me. That's what you say. You are emboldened. See why you get to know yourself? So now you guys can pop over to YouTube if you so desire. And if you haven't gotten out of bed to go somewhere because it's a holiday, right? Well, then pop over to YouTube and lay there and let the bowl soothe you. Let the vibration, because as you and I well know, that the vibration, think about it. Cymatics, sound, yes? When you play a particular tone and you have sand, on top of the speaker, the sand takes the shape. So what did you do to the sound? Not only are you hearing the vibration over your eardrum, but you're watching the sound. But of course, the sound is taking shape according to the sound. So now you're not seeing the cells in your body, but you know that sound creates a shape. Oh, indeed, it does. You know this because you've seen it done. If you haven't, I will look for a video and drop it in the description below so you get a first-hand account of kymatics. Sound. You can see it. And if it can do that and allow the sand to take shape, well, what is it doing to you? What is the music that you listen to doing to you on a cellular level? You know what I'm saying? So I'll see you over here on YouTube, Sugar Visions. Indeed, beautiful Queen Red Pill, the truth sets us free, David. Oh, see, Cyber says he loves watching climatic videos. It does something to you. It's absolutely brilliant. It does. If you have a favorite video, Cyber, that you like watching, and you can send it to me, and I'll post it so we can all partake in that. So Gek, it was good to see you because Tiffany's already over here on YouTube. She didn't even waste any time. She's over there. Gek, if you don't know how to find me over there, it's Positively Angela. Same thing. I think the description is in the link there on Twitter. So I'll see you over there, darling. Enjoy your beautiful day. Okay, and I'll see you over there. Twitter is closed. Fanbase. KZ, Miss McQueen, Coach, Oracle, Treehouse, Flow Smiles. I see you all. I'll catch you later over here on YouTube and we can hit that bowl together. Big Javi, is that who you are?
Big Javi.
Oh, Big Javi. Hello, Big Javi. It's good to see you. We're just popping over to YouTube right now so we can experience the sound of the bowl. The bowl. Yes. So we can experience how our cells and our bodies behave in the presence of that sound, the note D. It is a beautiful sound. I will see you all right over there on YouTube for Positively Angela. Much love to you all, fan base. Much love to you all. Fan base is closed. Aw, Javion, he's not here today. Well, that's okay. I always still think of him. He's my sweet baby, too. Let's get that bowl, shall we? Go over here. Oh, and there's the bowl.